Hi guys, this is the second of the two videos, and this one is going to be focused on the Compass Quest. And so I have two targets for this particular tutorial professional development. The first one is, I understand the intention and purpose of the Compass Quest project. And the second target is, I understand how to prepare and teach the Compass Quest project. We'll come back to these at the end and make sure that we have done just that. So the first thing I want to show you guys is where the genesis of the Compass Quest project came from. So as some of you know, I come from an international baccalaureate background. I taught in an IB school for 8 years, and I became extremely impassioned about the personal project because it's a way for students to take all of the skills they learn in their classes and they transfer that set of skills and understandings, and they are able to put it all to practice in the real world. The thing I really like about the IB personal project is that it's also really focused on a personal passion. So to tweak this into a Compass Academy project that goes a little further, I created this representation of a cycle of what I think the full picture will look like once we build out all the way to high school. So students will be exploring a personal passion area, something they're super interested in at that time and they want to explore. You find a mentor in the community and they really dig into what does it mean to be a baker? What does it mean to be a veterinarian if they really love animals? What does it mean to be a landscaper if they're really into growing plants and making things beautiful in an outdoor sense? What does it really mean to be a welder? What does it really mean if I'm super passionate about soccer? What does it mean to be a soccer coach? There's so many applications because there's so many passions in the world. And so with that mentor, they would also explore a problem that's connected to that passion area in the community. From there, once they've figured out a problem they want to focus on, they would then research everything they can find out about this problem and how it's impacting their community. This could be expanded in the high school years as to how that's impacting the global collection of humanity. How is that impacting on a global scene or a statewide scene or a nationwide scene or a, northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere or western hemisphere versus the eastern hemisphere, whatever. It can go a lot of ways. So that research can get really detailed and expand quite quickly. And then students have to, at that point, then they would go into the solution phase. And this would be a lot of trial and error and trying to figure out, really with the design thinking and brainstorming and working with panels of experts, how they could solve this problem that they now are experts about from their research, how they could solve this problem. And once they finally land on a viable solution, they would implement that solution. First, I think we should do something very local and then build out from there so that by their senior year, they're really implementing solutions to big, giant world problems that are on the global stage. So this can grow every year and become something that's bigger and bigger. Now, in the creation of the Compass Quest project, it was intended to be a year-long focus every year. So students will have a Compass Quest project every year. It's just going to look different from 6th grade to 7th grade and so on, because we need to scaffold for our students. So what we would do in 6th grade is going to look different, like I said, to what we may do in 10th grade. And in the process of working on this curriculum, I started with the autonomous learner model, which I would highly suggest reading about. They have lots of great ways to break down these types of projects. And that's where I got the idea for our mapping assignment that we did last Wednesday, and we're going to finish up this Wednesday. mapping the resources in our community. And this curriculum will probably need to be expanded and come back to for our high school years, as I was saying, because in the meantime, we have found, thanks to Jim Belfons, this amazing free program, and you guys have a little bit of knowledge about it so far, that takes my original ideas for Compass Quest and applies it to our age group, students ages 10 to 13. So this is what we'll do for the middle grades. And it really takes the Compass Quest project and puts it on steroids. It's a wonderful program. Not only is it free, but it's online and connecting our students to students all over the world. So how it works, they have this little graphic here, is that there's an e-classroom full of guided activities. The lesson plans are already written for you, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything. So I want to be really clear. Every week you're going to need to look at the lesson plan and see what do you need to prepare to make that lesson go smoothly. What is needed. And hopefully on Wednesday the 9th, we are going to be able to watch the webinar on how to implement Global Scholars with our students so that we could start on the 16th with our students on Global Scholars. And then, so they have this online forum, professional development, multimedia, teacher's lounge, lesson plans already written. And then students take part in creating digital presentations, discussion posts, and community projects. This is going to be a really great one for us. Just really organizing. Well, they're all going to be great, but I think one of the big pieces of our school is to do service in our community. And so hopefully they are connected back to what they're learning. And then students all over the world become global citizens. So another really big tie-in is that obviously if the theme this year is going to be creating more sustainable cities, there's going to be elements from every content. Students could speak to students in Spain and practice their Spanish. There's going to have to be math involved when we're talking about how we design better cities. Sorry if you can hear Mark in the background screaming. I don't know. He's just being silly and loud. Anyway, there's going to be obviously social studies and geography involved. Reading and writing will be involved. Art will be involved. And speaking and listening and presenting skills. Presentation skills. I just think this is going to be such a great place, a denouement, if you will, a way to tie together all of these beautiful learnings that students are having in all of your classes. And this is a great way for you guys to foster that cross-curricular piece. So we have all the requirements. We have enthusiastic educators to lead the program, which is you. You guys are amazing teachers. We have our students. We have English proficiency for the most part. We're getting there. I think we can just really support our students that are in that level 1 to 2 to some 3 range, and then and help them, because this is a great experience for all students. It says a minimum of 2 hours. We're going to have 85 minutes. So we're going to have to see how that goes and see if we need to make tweaks in the schedule. So just be open-minded about that. And then obviously we have computers and Wi-Fi. So we've already been accepted. We're going to get these PDs rolling out. But the main idea here is really to have students learn about a really interesting topic. And although starting off, it's not going to be necessarily a personal passion, but this is a way for them to learn what are your personal passions. They're going to be exposed to a lot of different ideas, from water to energy to all kinds of things about how to make a sustainable city. And then really be exposed to the problems. They'll have to do research, and they're going to have to be a part of the solution and solution implementation in those little community service projects we do. Immediately in our community, and then also maybe bringing awareness for global projects. So that is Compass Quest in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but I think that might give you a good idea of the genesis. And let's remember that anytime you need to access things that we're doing on Wednesdays, you can just go to the Wednesday Resources folder, and within the Wednesday Resources folder, we have Compass Quest lesson plans and resources. We have the data team lesson plans. This is where I stored the assessment retake form because students need to fill that out before they will be admitted to retake assessments for your class. That does not include things like maps, obviously, but that's more like content-specific assessments. The data team protocol, seminar offerings. So since we're talking about Compass Quest, we go in here and we look at the assignment sheet and the rubric for Compass Quest. We can see, oh, this is the assignment sheet. My bad, hang on. The lesson plan here. For you, I wrote a rationale, really trying to clearly help root you. And I hope it makes more sense now that you kind of have an idea of the background of Compass Quest. Once we begin using Global Scholars with our students, their learning will be based around how to create sustainable cities. So that is why I really wanted students to get familiar with their own backyard, really. What do you think our neighborhood consists of? How big would you make that map, or how concentrated and small would you make that map? What resources are important? I think Hannah maybe told me that students were really concerned about having all the 7-Elevens on there. Other students, I heard, I think from Amanda, that they were really considering like how big to make the map. They were really thoughtful about it. We can refer to these maps, and it'd be nice to have them up in the rooms or accessible in some way, maybe even on students' portfolios. But how can we access these maps throughout the year, talking about how we can plan for service projects to improve the sustainability of our city, of our region, our little neighborhood, and teaching them that idea that if you act locally, you're actually acting and helping globally. So that's where the little chunks of goodies are. As we get Global Scholars up and running, I will put any resources you need in here. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure that most of the resources, lesson plans, and everything will be on that website. So I'll make sure you have the link in here. But this is where you go for all Wednesday things. And like I said in my email, I'm going to try every Thursday. If not, it will have to be Friday, just depending on where I'm at in creating lesson plans and such. But I'm thinking mostly Thursdays, and I'll email it out and remind you to go look at that Wednesday resources folder. And let's go back to our targets before we go and see if we were able to get at the root of some of these. So the intention and purpose of the Compass Quest project, it gave you kind of the background of the genesis and why we're going to do it with students. It's a hub for cross-curricular transfer of knowledge into real-world problems, raising student engagement, raising student awareness, helping students to become global scholars, not to be redundant, but that is a big part of it, is to help our students become engaged civically and engaged citizens of the world. And then target 2, I understand how to prepare and teach the Compass Quest project. So this one's an ongoing target. We have not hit this target yet because you only understand how to prepare and teach for Wednesdays as it is now. But soon, my dear friends, we will have that webinar teaching us how to access all the materials on Global Scholars and teach it to our children. And then you will have a full picture of how to prepare and teach for Compass Quest. So I also would like to add that as we do this, you guys are going to be the true explorers on the frontier of deciding and giving feedback to, as a community, how can we make Compass Quest